Hello and welcome everybody to episode 19 of the CreaLien Design Podcast, a podcast about knitting and spinning and sometimes crocheting and other fiber crafts. Today it's the 14th of February 2020, so it's Valentine's Day. I hope you all have a lovely day. And it's the first time I'm recording in 2020. So Happy New Year! So, yeah, it's been a long time. But let me first tell you where you can find me, right? So, I'm CreaLien Design almost everywhere. I'm CreaLien Design on Etsy, where I sell CreaLien Design yarn. I'm CreaLien Design on Instagram and on Facebook and on Ravelry. And I think that's it. Yeah, here on YouTube. That's it. All CreaLien Design. So yeah, it's been a long time since I recorded, and the reason is that I caught a bug the 1st of January, and it just started with a little cough in my lungs, and then it worked its way up and around everywhere and everything. So I've been a bit ill for 3 weeks, the first 3 weeks of January. I had lots of coughing, and then a day that I had a fever, and then there was a day that, I don't know, there were days that I just was incredibly tired, and yeah, I couldn't record. And then I thought, well, I would like to record again. I wanted to record a podcast, but that sweater, my boyfriend's sweater, still wasn't finished. And I said to myself, well, you're allowed to record once you have finished that sweater. It was sort of like my pressure. I don't know, I just pressured myself into finishing it, otherwise I wouldn't finish it. And it worked at first, but then it didn't work anymore because of the endless ribbing at the bottom of the sweater. I don't know, it took forever. Sorry for the slight interruption there. Anyway, I'll show you the sweater in a minute, but first I have some exciting news. Because if you see my last podcast, I know there are lots of new viewers, so welcome and thank you for checking me out and for following me, and it's really amazing. So yeah, thank you. But if you're a returning viewer, you might remember from the last episode that I was going to do a giveaway. And I was going to do the giveaway as soon as I recorded again. So that is today. I did the random comment picker on the internet. I just googled random comment thing in random prize drawing YouTube, something like that, and I gave them a page, and then I had to copy and paste the link from my previous video, and then it came up with a comment, the name and the commenter's name. So, and what you could win was, okay, what you had to do. Wow, this is not cohesive at all. Anyway, what you had to do in a chance of winning was you had to go to my Etsy store and comment in the comment section on YouTube what your favorite colorway of mine was, and what you could win was a skein of that colorway that you liked the most. And you could also, for an extra entry, share my podcast somewhere else and yeah, spread the word. If you like this podcast, you could spread the word, and that would give you an extra entry. And the winner was the Sencha. She's from Croatia. And her favorite colorway, she said, was Glacier. So, here's Glacier. So, the Sencha, if you're watching this, please contact me. You can contact me through Ravelry or Facebook or wherever. Actually, I'm everywhere, so you can just pick. You can contact me, and if you want to send me your address, please, then this lovely skein of glacier will come your way as soon as possible. Yeah, I like this one too. I like it a lot. So yeah, price draw done. Now let's get to the knitting, shall we? Okay, so like I said, I finished the sweater. So let's start with that. Oh, by the way, what I'm wearing a sweater that I made a couple of years ago now. It was I dyed a bunch of fiber, then I spun the fiber into yarn, and then I knitted a top-down raglan sweater out of that yarn. So here we have it, a hand-spun, hand-dyed, hand-knit sweater. Anyway, I love it. I wear it a lot. The sweater for my boyfriend. It's done, you guys. It's done. I did it. Yeah. And he loves it. Look at it. So, in case you didn't know, this I decided last November, I think it was near the end of the November or halfway through November, that I wanted to knit my boyfriend a sweater for Christmas with hand spun yarn that I still had to spin. So I basically had like 2 or 3 weeks to spin yarn and knit a sweater in his size. Anyway, it was I decided on the Night Nook sweater, which is a pattern by Stephen West, and it's an amazing pattern. It's so much fun. It really was fun. And look at that construction. You start with the neckline, and then you do this brioche over the shoulders on each side, and then you work the front or the back. I believe you work the front first, back and forth, and then the other side back and forth, and you knit the whole thing. And then you pick up the back and knit that thing, and then you knit the yoke all the way around. Yeah. And then you knit the body and the sleeves. If it only was that fast in real life. It was a really pleasant knit. It was a really fun knit. I really enjoyed it. But the thing is, it was really exciting to work on to get it done in time for Christmas. But then we celebrated Christmas at his parents in Germany, and we left here, I think, around the 20th of December. So I had around a month to spin and knit it, but I couldn't work on it when he was around. So I think there were like 13 or 14 days evenings that I actually worked on it. And that went pretty fast. But then I felt the urge to finish it in time, right? I was excited and I wanted to see if I could make it. And I had one sleeve done. I had the other sleeve, I think, somewhere to up here, I believe. It was nearly done. And I had the body maybe until here, no, lower here. I think the stockinette section was nearly done. So I was pretty far. But then we left. And then I gave it to him for Christmas. And then, that urge and the excitement was gone. And I didn't have trouble finishing the second sleeve so much because that was fun with colors and stripes and it's quick in the round. But the stockinette section wasn't that bad either. But the ribbing. I did 20 rows of twisted 1x1 rib. I didn't like that. I didn't enjoy it at all. But the thing is, when I started the sweater, I had misread the yarn suggestions in the pattern, and I ended up with a yarn twice as heavy, twice as thick as the recommended yarn. But I knit it to the same gauge, so it was pretty tight knitting, and I felt it. The yarn, the hand spun yarn, was half of it was yarn fiber that I dyed, and half of it was fiber that a friend had dyed. And I spun them together, basically some sort of combo spin. And it was a merino nylon, and the other one was 100% merino. And the gray yarn was a store-bought yarn, and that was Drops Alaska. And that yarn, I have one ball left and a half, and it is, let me check, 50 grams, so 1.8 ounces, has 70 meters, so 77 yards, which is twice as heavy as the yarn that was recommended. It worked out okay, but look how thick this yarn is. And I knitted the body and the sleeves on 5mm needles, but I knitted the neck, all the ribbing basically, on 4.5 millimeters. That was rough on my hands. It's quite a rough wool. I mean, it's 100% wool, and I really like it, and I really like the feel of it. But just knitting with it is sort of rough on my finger. I don't mind wearing it, and I don't mind touching it, but when I knit with it for a long time at a really tight gauge, and especially the twisted rib, I got cramps in my hands, and I couldn't knit for it for more than an hour. And ribbing is one of those things that you just need to zoom through, just need to get through in one evening or maybe 2 evenings, and then you're done with it. But I couldn't because it hurt my hands. Man, I didn't enjoy it, but it's done, it's finished. And I did add some short rows to the back side that made it even more ribbing, to make the back a little bit lower than the front. As you can see, it's a little bit lower, but I think it's just right. And I added a little button. I just did that like 5 minutes before I started recording. I didn't weave in that end, that one like end. And it says heel veel knuffels, kusjes en liefde, which means lots of hugs. Yeah, cuddles, kisses, and love with a little piglet. And I thought it was super cute. I think he can appreciate it, and now he knows what's the front of the sweater. I think I'm also going to sew a little something in here so that he can see what's the back of the sweater, because it is really different. The back is wider than the front. So yeah, I'm really glad that it's done, that it's finished, and now I want to make one for myself. I have the hand spun. I spun it a long time ago. Not specifically for the sweater, but it's perfect for this sweater. I'm sorry if I'm shaking you. You're standing on a table. I'm shaking the table. And I know what yarn I want to use for the body. So I just don't want to buy any new yarn now, because I have so much stash, but I don't have the right yarn in my stash. But I don't really want to buy new yarn, so it's kind of, hold on a second, I'm going to close that curtain because of this. It's quite annoying. Yep, that's better. Yep. Okay, so I used 14 or 15. No, I bought 16 in total. I have 2 left, so I bought 14. I used 14, I think. Wait. Okay, wait. I have the tags. Let me quickly count it. 13. 13 complete balls of 50 grams went into the sweater, and a half. And I have one complete leftover. And Joop, my cat who is sleeping in that basket over there, absolutely loved this wool. Every time I got the sweater out, he just jumped on it and he just wanted to be on it and touch it. So I think with this leftovers, I'm just gonna knit him a little blanket, something that he can lay on. I think he will appreciate that. And this is the handspun that I have left over. Oops. It's a total of a little over 50 grams. I think it's 56 grams or something. Could be nice for a striped hat or something like that. Okay, that was my first finished object. I have one more finished object, but it's a small one. And it's a sock. Just a single sock. I, out of my Pongo&Perdy yarn, on the gold sparkle base, I really love it. And I have this, the 5th and 6th of June 2020, so this year, I'm going to be at a yarn festival. It's Guntersbloem Woolfest in Guntersbloem in Germany. It's the 5th and 6th of June, I believe. And I need some boot samples. And I don't have any. I didn't have any, so I decided I just grab some of the most popular yarns from my shop and knit some samples with it. I think that's cool. And I love this colorway so much. And I love how it knit up. Look at those speckles. I just love that from a distance it looks like it's just black and white, and then you look closer and you see all these rainbow speckles in there. I love it so much. I think it's a lot of fun. So, Pongo&Perdy on my gold sparkle sock base, and it's soft. It's really soft. I really like it. I actually want to knit the rest of the skein into smaller socks just for myself. Or something else. I don't know yet, but I like it. Okay, next work in progress. Project. Next whip. Oh yeah, okay. I started knitting. I'm on a colorwork kit, and let me check what, without giving away the chart. This pattern is the Northern Sky Socks by Running Yarn. Is that on there? Yeah, Running Yarn. You should follow her on Instagram. I think I said it before, but her feed is beautiful. And she designs beautiful colorwork. Socks. Ta-da! The beginning of a sock. I should have. I believe you should start a heel here or here at this point, but I'm gonna make it longer because this is just not long enough of a leg for me. I love this pattern. Front and back is the same. I think it's beautiful. It's really, really elegant. Look at that. It's so pretty. The yarn that I'm using is the pink yarn. Is one without label, but I know what it is. It's Scheepjes from Scheepjes Invicta Glamour. I don't know the colorway name, but it probably just has a number. It's a wool nylon blend with rainbow sparkles. And the other one is a skein. I think I showed you this last time, didn't I? No, I didn't. I don't think I did. I don't know. I showed you this yarn, that I'm sure of. This beautiful teal color that I just wanted to dye because I love the color so much and I want to just dye one skein just to use for myself, for something. I love it. And I really like teal and pink together, and I think it's beautiful. Sorry about the alarm outside. That's just a scooter or something. Nothing serious. Happens all the time. So, I really like it. And you know what's cool? What's pretty cool is those yarn. They really match my bag, my project bag. Look, everything matches. Yay! Oops, let's put it in there with the pattern. If it wants to go in there. Okay, and next up, what do we have in the next project bag? What's this? I'm just gonna grab stuff. Oh, the project bags? Oh, project bags are made by me. Oh, this hat. Oh, yeah, I did work on this. Occasionally. I didn't work on it much, but it's now at a point where it's time to start decreasing for the crown. You might think, what a ridiculously long hat. That's right, because it's with a folded brim. And now it's time to start decreasing, and then I'm going to put a big white pom-pom on it, and it's going to be amazing. Warm, slouchy, squishy, sparkly, rainbowy. What else can I wish for? So the white yarn is just some cheap ass acrylic, €1. Perfect. Soft, washable. I like it. And some handspun that I spun ages ago. And there's a hair on it, of course. Very professional. I spun it from Rolex, from Chunklies. I never know how to pronounce that. I believe I heard one podcaster once say Chunklies. But maybe you say Chunklies. But why would they lie? I don't know. I don't know stuff about stuff. Language, not my thing. I like this hat. And the urge to finish it is not so high because we're in the middle of winter. We haven't had any snow yet. It's 9 degrees outside. The sun is shining. It's not cold. I think we have had one cold day or something. I like cold. I want cold and I want snow, but we are having a really warm winter and I want cold. Anyway, I cannot do anything about the weather, can I? So let's put this away. But then I don't feel the pressure to finish it, right? If it's really cold outside, then I just want this hat. And then I will finish it, but it's not cold, so no rush there. Then what do we have next? Oh, there was a new custom that you haven't seen before. And it's nearly finished. These are the Julenat mittens, actually. Julenat by Skeiner Knits. Ellie from Skeiner Knits and the Skeiner Knits podcast. These are amazing. In an amazing color. So, this is the one that's not finished. As you can see, it doesn't have a finished thumb. I started the thumb. It's just not done yet. And we have a finished mitten. Yeah. Let me put it up for you. Over my watch. Yeah, baby. Isn't this amazing? I really love it. Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, I love it. I love it. And this one is just not finished yet, but I will put it on for you. All the ends, that needle is slipping out. So, Yep. Yay. I have to say that, like, in the original pattern, just gives you the chart for this one, from the font from this one. I mirrored it. So I just screenshot the PDF, put it into Paint, and mirrored it. You can just hit the button, mirror, and then it's mirrored. And then I printed it, and now I've knit this one in mirrored. As you can see, the reindeer are walking towards each other instead of in the same direction. Yep, really like it. Oh, I did change this chart a bit. It's not with the stripes, actually. I added the stripes. There was something else there. I like the stripes. I think it's pretty cool. This color, you guys. Whee! This one is blocked already. This one isn't. You can see the difference. And it looks as if they are different in color, but that is because the white in here still has some lanolin in it, so that gives it a yellow halo. And once that's washed out, it will become a lot whiter white, which gives more of a blue, less yellow glow. Yep, really happy with these. Need to finish that one. But like I said, it's not cold outside. There's no rush in very warm mittens. The yarn that I'm using, super exciting, it's this yarn. And I dyed this myself. I am planning, nothing is certain yet, but I am planning on adding a woolen spun, very woolen sheep yarn from the white textilar to my shop. And I'm super excited about it. This is what people call like a rustic yarn. It's just woolen. I don't know, can you hear that or not? It's just crunchy and it's amazing for color work and I love it. And I bought some samples to see how it took the dye and how it would knit up, and I'm excited. I'm so excited. So I'm trying to get this into my shop. And the yarn is from white textilar sheep, and they are Dutch. They are Dutch sheep, happy sheep from a Dutch farmer, and very eco-friendly, sheep-friendly, everything friendly, and I'm in love with it. I wanted to see, the pink is because I wanted to see how well it took dye, and I think the best way to see how well it takes dye is to use the brightest color you have. So I chose pink. Otherwise, I would probably have gone for a blue for this team of mitten, but I think this pink is pretty cool. Oh man, I'm losing hair all over the place. Yep, love it. Just need to finish the second top, which will take me one evening, and then it's done. I'm super excited. So, yep. So I haven't been podcasting, but I have been knitting, right? I've also been weaving a very awesome rainbow scarf, but I will show you once it's finished because I'm not gonna hold up my loom here and no. You'll get to see it when it's finished. Okay, next up, what do we have here? Oh, I started a second sample sock in Pearl-tastic. I love this colorway so much. It's dyed the same way as Pongo&Perdy, but the color is this awesome teal color and the speckles are completely different. I love it. But the dyeing technique used is the same as Pongo&Perdy. And look at this. Ooh. And you see there's a lot of pooling going on. And that's funny because Pongo&Perdy doesn't have it. Like, there's flashing, but that's normal because, you know, there's just 2 colors. So, of course, they are going to stack up, right? But what happens here is that it depends on the gauge you knit at. And in my case, needle size I use, if it will pull or not. So for Pongo&Perdy, I used 2.5mm needles. For this one, I started out with 2mm needles. And then I thought, well, I don't want this to pull like that. So I'm going to change to 2.25mm needles. So I cast it on with 2.5. Then from this marker to this marker, I knitted on 2. And now I'm knitting on 2.25. And you can see that the pulling is breaking up. It's not pulling as much anymore. So I'm really curious to see when I get a little bit further if this is enough to break up the pulling, or if I will go up to 2.5mm again. I just wanted to try that out. But that's also something, if you have a yarn, okay, some yarns really have the tendency to pull, right? But if you have a yarn that pulls in a way that you don't like, just change needle size. Even just 0.25mm difference makes a difference. And also, if you want, you could also just add like 2 stitches or something. It will change the pulling so much. So yeah, I thought I'd just put it out there. Like, if that's something, like, you don't like how your yarn is pulling, add 1 stitch. Or go up or down a needle size. And it will change. Just FYI. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how this will continue. And I love it. I love it so much. I'm super excited about this colorway. I really am. You'll see more of it. Then, yeah, 2 more works in progress. One is my Christmas socks, because it will be Christmas at the end of the year, and I have to start early, right? Like last year, early. Anyway, these are my Kiss Me Under the Cherry Tree colorway socks. Self-striping yarn. I love it so much. This was my Christmas yarn for 2019. Kiss Me Under the Cherry Tree. And I think it's also suitable for spring. So I finished the cuffs on both. I knitted them 2 at a time and doing afterthought heel. This one is done. It just needs Kitchener to close it. And then I have 1 sock finished. Oh, the way the afterthought heel is just... Amy Florence has a good video on it that you can check out. For Amy Florence from the Stranded podcast. You can Google it or type it, look it up on YouTube. She has a good video on it. I like it. And on this one, I picked up the stitches and I cut the hole, and now I just have to knit the heel 1 evening and it's finished. Well, you know, I have to find that 1 evening to work on it. And this is all the yarn I have left. This is probably about 50 grams or 45 grams or 55. I don't know, I didn't weigh it, but that's usually what I have left after I finished a pair of socks. These are not finished yet. Anyway, then my last work in progress. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going through it a bit quickly because I have so much to cover and I have so much more to do today. I'll get to that later. So, this is also a new caster. Lots of new castings, right? But also finished things. So, this, yeah, it's on a cable because those stitches are live and I have to use them later. But this, my friends, are section 1 and 2 of the Vertices Unites. Vertices Unite shawl by Stephen West. And I know everybody and their mother has knit one, but I haven't yet. So, yes, here we have it. Okay, like I said, I needed boot samples for my booth at the yarn festival. So I'm knitting this again out of my own yarn. I'm sorry, I hope you don't get bored of that, but that's what I'm knitting on right now because I need those boot samples. Anyway, Vertices Unite is a pattern by Stephen West, and most people know this, but still I'm going to show you. This is, I cannot see what you are seeing, so this is the shawl, and it's amazing. I'm knitting the large size. It comes in 2 sizes, and the small size is already pretty big, but I like a big shawl. What's this? Oh, it's a card from the store where I bought the book. Anyway, so the colors I'm using for section 1. Look at that. Can you see it? I love this section so much. This yellow and this pink together remind me of vanillevla. If you're Dutch, you know vanillevla. If you're German and you have ever been in the Netherlands, you probably know vanillevla because Germans love vla. And I didn't mean vanillevla. I of course meant double vla with vanilla and strawberry. But it also looks like vanilla and strawberry ice cream together, right? Right? Anyway, I have the cakes of yarn here. This is my Lulu colorway, a colorway that I dyed up when Lulu was in the animal hospital. And I love this colorway. I dyed it on my gold sparkle sock base. And I love it so much. I think it's beautiful. And it's such a good representation of who Lulu was. Yeah, I love it. Lulu was my cat who passed away in November. And this is Hot Blondie. And no, it's not named like Hot Blondie, a blonde girl or guy out there. No, Hot Blondie is the cake, the like. Okay, I cannot find the words. It's like a muffin, sort of like a muffin, but it's warm, and inside that warm muffin is melted white chocolate inside, and then there's ice cream on top of it. It's amazing. That's a hot blondie. And you also have a hot brownie because then it's like a chocolate muffin with dark chocolate inside that's melted and melted, molten, melted. Melted? You know, I think melted. I don't know. Language. Who cares? Anyway, and then with ice cream. So this is a hot blondie. I love a hot blondie. So hot blondie, and Olulu together. This is just my 4-ply smooth sock base, and this is my gold sparkle base, and together they are amazing. And this section 2, I love section 2, by the way. I love section 1 too, but I love section 2 too. Sorry, I'm weird. I don't know. I shouldn't do this. Anyway, I love it. And the yarns that I'm using. This is my color A, by the way. This is my color B. This is my color C, and this is my color D. And I don't have a color E yet. This has been finished for a few days. I cannot decide. I don't know what I want. What color? What color do I want to go with this? I don't know. Bright pink with red, but maybe red and green is not the best combination because it's very Christmassy. Do I want something more pastel or something more brighter or in between? I don't know. I cannot decide. I don't know. Too many choices, I guess. Anyway, too many options, I mean, of course. This is my Mossy Bridges colorway. It's my new favorite. I love it so much. And all those intensely colored speckles. Love it. And this is my Banana Peel colorway. Awesome. It looks so much like a banana peel. I love it. The colors are amazing. And no, it's not the same as Hot Blondie. Look at the difference. And then there will be a section where these two are striping together. Oh, makes me so excited. So yeah, that's with Mossy Bridges and Banana Peel. And I like how the back, when you pick up the stitches, how this forms this braid here. I love it. I'm super excited to working on this. As soon as I find my fifth color, I will work on it more. Then I will fly through it because it's really fun to knit. Yeah, the only thing I'm really not looking forward to is you end the whole thing. So this is just section 1 and 2, but I believe there are 6 sections. And then there's an I-cord border all around the whole thing. What? Who wants to do that? Not this girl, not me. So I'm thinking of ending it with like a crab stitch, crochet crab stitch border around it or something like that. I'm not sure. Do you have any ideas? I don't like I-cord. It's so tedious and it takes forever. If you have any ideas, if you have knitted this, what have you done with the border? Does it need a border? I think it needs a border. I think that looks neat. But if you have any ideas, please let me know. And also, if you have any ideas on what color to use, maybe glacier will be nice. That could be really nice. Maybe I will do glacier. Who knows? We shall see. If you have any ideas, please let me know. I'm open to suggestions. So, and that was all the knitting. But I've also been spinning because if you might remember from my last video is that I got a nano UV spinner for as a Christmas present. And I'm gonna pause now because I'm hearing my neighbor on the stairs and she cannot hear me talk. So, yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I always feel really awkward if my neighbor can hear me, and if she's walking on the stairs, she can hear me talk. So I had to pause for a second. Anyway, my nano. I've been spinning. So I'm not sure which one I showed you last time. I think I showed you this one finished. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm not sure. So I'm going to show you anyway again. This is a poleward, sparkling poleward blend. I believe it was 80% poleward and 20% sparkling nylon. And I dyed this forever ago. I finished the singles. I was planning on doing a chain ply. Not doing that anymore. It's going to be a 2-ply. And what I do is I just wind it off the bobbin into a center pull ball and then ply from the inside and the outside at once. But I will do that on my just my normal spinning wheel, not on the Nano. And I finished this spin. I don't know if did I start it last time? I don't know. This, let me grab some yarn for a second. Sorry about all the interruptions. I hope this is not too much for you. Anyway, this yarn, I don't know if I showed it to you last time. I think I did. This is a yarn that I spun forever ago. This was one of my first braids of Fibre, I believe, and it was 100% superfine merino. I think Joop is going to come and take a look. He's only going to take a look at his food. Anyway, so I decided I wanted to spin the second half of this fibre because this was just 50 grams and I only spun half the fibre. So this is 50 grams. So I still had 50 grams left and I spun them on my Nano. And this was chain plied, so I'm chain plying this one as well. I think this will look a bit neater than that one and finer because look at this. There are some really big like inconsistencies. This was one of my earlier spins and I think it was, look at this, how thick this is compared to this one, this strand here. Anyway, it will still knit up pretty nicely. So look how thick it is here. I think this will be much better, but better, it's not about better, but I think it will look neater. Yeah, need to ply it on my wheel. I'm just too lazy to go get my other wheel. It's just standing there right behind that door, but still. And then I really don't remember what I showed you last time, but this spin is finished. The 50 grams of Christmas fibre that I dyed especially as my first spin on my wheel, because I knew I was going to get it for Christmas, so I wanted some Christmas fibre to spin around Christmas. And I wanted initially I wanted to chain ply it initially. I cannot pronounce things. Anyway, but I decided I'm going to two-ply it with the other half that I'm spinning. This is just the half. Because it's a bit too thick, I think, for a chain ply. Because I want to use this for socks. So I think it's a bit too thick to chain ply in.